Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to the farm. Today we wanted to do a full garden tour for you guys, update you a little bit on the farm. We are getting our chores done as fast as we can because it's going to be a hot one. We're talking about 100 degrees today, so trying to beat the heat. It's 8:30 in the morning. By noon we're going to be scorching. So I'm going to harvest our microgreens really quick, and then Rachel's already over in the west garden, so we'll go over there. We'll meet up with her, kind of go over what we're doing there. It's mostly flowers. We have planted some vegetables because vegetables love flowers, and the pollinators are going crazy. Everybody who has a garden should just grow tons and tons of flowers. I can't recommend that enough. After we show you the west garden, we'll show you our east garden, which is kind of like our kitchen garden. So kids are gonna be out feeding the animals. We'll update you on the animals as well. You guys, we're really excited. It's a lot of hard work that we've been doing, but it's starting to pay off. We're really, really excited. These are my favorite. Laura, you want one? I like them. I like them just like that. That's when they're my favorite. So good.
This is the one you like.
So initially I would have told you that microgreens are a waste of seeds, but totally is not. This is such a delectable snack. Oh my gosh.
They're good.
Full of nutrients. So delicious. And it's a way that we can grow greens in the middle of summer. And like, we can't grow lettuce here. Oh, excuse me. Sunflower seed burp. Cannot grow lettuce here in California in the summer. But this is a way that we get to. And none of this is going to go to waste. Whatever we didn't cut off will end up with our chickens, and they will munch this, and they will turn the leftover soil into compost that we'll use later. It is a perfect symbiotic relationship, and we love it. So we use this stuff in the summer in our tacos. We do mix it in with other things, cucumbers, lettuce mixes that we buy from the store, of course. But this one's the buckwheat. Pretty delicious. Sunflowers, pretty darn delicious.
I tried the buckwheat.
You need a haircut.
No, I don't.
Should we get a haircut today?
No.
Yes.
No.
The right answer is yes, Dad. Brookston named his cucumbers Munchie. Well, which one's Munchie? All of them?
I think this one's the lemon cucumber.
Oh, delicious.
Munchie.
Oh, Munchie.
It's gonna be a munchy cucumber.
We should plant him later today or later this week. All right, guys. So let's go, actually, before the tour, let's go give these microgreen scraps to the chickens, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Is that okay? That's okay. So I am not a pro when it comes to growing microgreens at all. There's a lot of room for improvement, but it's so satisfying. Want some? You get one of the leftovers.
Wait, the leftovers?
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah, but still some ones that
I mean, there's no such thing as leftovers. The rest go to the chickens and will produce us delicious, nutritious eggs.
There.
What's up, Steve? Good morning to you. You want some microgreens? You interested? Maybe? There we go. Your lady wants some. You're not interested in that healthy stuff there. Dude, look at that snood. Come here, man. Come here, dude. Don't leave me, Steve. Don't leave me, Steve. Here, eat it. Eat it. Eat your greens. All right. Doesn't like the greens. Chickens, however, like the greens. Come on.
The chickens, they like the greens. The turkeys, they don't like the greens.
One goal I have with this is to actually make it a compost station. So I gotta like line it with plastic and stuff like that. So as the chickens scratch through here, put their manure in it, we can take that and use it in the garden. Because we're trying on our farm to have as little inputs, outputs, stuff coming from off farm as possible, and that includes fertilizer. And so we got all these chickens that all they do is poop all day, and our ducks, which we started in the poop chute in the west garden, and they're doing all the good work for us to make sure that we've got fertile soil. So
You need a check on them.
So yeah, so when we give you that the garden tour over that way, then we'll show you how the ducks are doing. So quick tour. This is Nani's garden. We still got a little bit of work to make sure that this is all cleaned up. Those wood chips are gonna be all over here. Make sure those weeds don't grow back. Okay guys, and this is our west garden. Probably another name that we should call it, but
The West Garden. Say it with the English accent. This is the West Garden.
so we'll talk about all these, like what our plans are for the rows and stuff like that. This row we just took care of. This was a row of sunflowers, and it's finished except for a few flowers down there. And here's our poop chute ducks. And look at what they did to that ground. They just kind of took care of it, put some manure down on there, and they survived the night. We're gonna move them just on down this line. Okay, now that that is done, welcome to the West Garden. Oh, it looks beautiful. We have dedicated so much time to planting flowers this year. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've gotten so good at starting seeds. It's a very meditative process, but it takes a lot of time. But look at what we've grown, you guys. We're so proud. One thing with the flower farm that is different than a different kind of crop farm is that we succession plant daily, almost, not daily, weekly. Starting seeds all the time, starting seeds in the ground all the time, transplanting all the time. We have to have flowers every week for bouquets. And so if we planted a whole field of sunflowers, and right here we kind of made the mistake of, and we're learning all the time, of planting too many sunflowers at the same time, they're not good for bouquets. They're not bouquets, bouquets. Is it bouquets or bouquets? Put that in the comment. A group of flowers, a bunch of flowers. A flower like this is too far gone for us to put in a bouquet, but look at, the bees like it, so we let it go. And these are all peach pro-cut sunflowers from Haas Tools, and they are just so stunning. So this one is even too far gone, right, Ray?
Yep. So right here. So if you look at this one, the petals are just starting to lift off. This is where you pick. So then it can open in the vase.
So like this is a really good example of like this opened, and this is probably earwig damage. And nobody likes holy sunflowers. And so that's when you pick, you bring it inside in the cool, and then as you're making bouquets,
and sometimes I'll like if they don't have damage, like this one looks pretty good, then I'll pop in a couple open ones just because it makes it look pretty. But I'll always put some closed one in, some closed.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Some closed flowers in.
My lady,
so
oh, it's another
see
birdie.
that open.
See, like even if it opens that much, you got a little bit of damage in there. So the whole goal of a bouquet is for it to last for our customers as long as possible. There's a science to growing and picking flowers, which we're learning as we go. We're getting better as we grow. And so most of these are far gone. We're leaving them around for our bees. Oh my gosh, our bees are jamming. If you guys didn't see the hive inspection, we'll link that up here. But they're just going to town. We're so happy for the bees. We probably need to do another hive inspection
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks for both of them.
For both of them, yeah. Just because I opened up their hives.
The swarm that we caught, we think it's doing well, but I think we checked too early last time. So we don't know if they have a queen or if they're making a queen. So we'll double check.
They're definitely building up. Like they're definitely building in there.
Yep. So hopefully they stick around. We'll have 2 hives. Okay, so all these sunflowers like this are gonna end up going into our chicken coop, and they will eat all the sunflower seeds in there. And all of this plant matter we could feed to our animals, and then we'll take the stalks and we'll chip that down and use that as organic matter in our garden bed. So none of this goes to waste. Part of our whole process here is to do what we can on our own farm and make use of every problem that we have. So essentially we don't have any problems. Hey, you're right.
I love doing this. I never knew this until I grew sunflowers. I'm like, where are the seeds? These are all individual tiny little itty bitty flowers on top of the seeds. So if you pull them away, you have all your seeds under there. It's just fun for kids and like to dissect it. When I do farm school, that's what we're gonna do. Dissect flowers, sunflowers.
So many people have said that they grill their sunflower heads. That is one thing that we haven't tried yet, but as you can see, we'll have plenty of opportunities to do that. So we didn't really expect for this video to be like a all about sunflowers video. But as you can see, our garden right now is all about sunflowers. Did you know that speaking of flowers for bouquets, whatever. Bouquets. There is a difference between like your sunflower, like David's sunflower seeds that you eat at baseball games and stuff like that, and a flower for your vase, for your table, for your bouquet. We grow for bunches of flowers, it's called a pro-cut. And pro-cut is a hybrid. It's a pro-cut is a cross that doesn't produce pollen. So it'll produce nectar for bees, but it doesn't produce pollen, because if you have like a regular sunflower on your table, it will just dust your table with pollen. And so pro-cuts are a cross that allow, that don't produce pollen. So they're really, really good for bouquets. So this is a pro-cut. This is a green fill, and you can see it's mostly a filler when it's open like this. So it doesn't look exactly like one of those ones, right? One of these ones. It doesn't open like that. The petals are very minuscule, tiny, but still these are very stunning. Fun to add into the bouquet.
Usually you pick those ones earlier, like when they're...
Yep. So that's probably a good time.
That's too far gone, too.
Like yesterday. So this is like a good time to pick, probably.
They're like supposed to be closed.
Right here.
Right?
Yeah, so these are probably, this is probably perfect. So the science of a bouquet is kind of hard, right? Like we want to give flowers, and so they're always opening for the next few days. So, you know, you want that burst of color happening every day. So when you go see that bouquet, you just are so happy and joyful, and you think of the farmers that grew the flowers for you, and you buy another bouquet every single day, and we'll deliver it to you, or you can go get it at your local farmers market if you're local to us. I feel like I'm doing most of this tour. Rachel is busy cutting flowers.
So I pick on Wednesday. This is my thing. I pick on Wednesday. They drink until Thursday. I put together Thursday evening, and then Friday morning is when I go drop.
So we don't have a refrigerator for our flowers.
No.
And a lot of bigger farms that are more established do. So we have to bring them into our air conditioning so they last for just a little bit longer until we could get them to market.
Yeah.
But one day
They do pretty good in the garage, so we'll like put them, I've been putting them together in the house just because it's cooler, but sometimes if it's not as bad, we'll put them together in the garage.
While you're there, perfectly framed in front of the zinnias. Talk about the zinnias.
Zinnias?
Yeah,
Zinnias are super easy to grow. I just was picking the white ones. Some of these are not the best, so I won't put them in, but what do you want to know about zinnias? Zinnias are super easy to grow, so if you want a little cut flower garden, like zinnias is the way to go. They love the heat. They love super hot. So we're in 9B, so it works really good for us. And this soil is honestly not the best soil. This is the first time we're planting this year, and so they're doing fantastic in this soil. And it can only go up from here. These are zinnias from Haas, and they're also zinnias from Johnny Seeds. There's like a variety mix. You see the pinks in the front, that's from Haas, and those are those Benary giant pinks. One of my favorites is the wine from Haas. They just add like this, I didn't pick any, but they just add this pop, this like, sometimes I'm like, nature is so cool, because where do these colors come up? Like, these colors are so vibrant.
It's like a neon almost.
Yeah, it's like, it's a beautiful wine zinnia. So they just add so much to the bouquets. And then I also like, gosh, I forget the color of them. They're like the pink middles.
Oh, there's
the lime
queen.
Yeah, maybe they're the lime queen. I need to look it up.
The lime queens are from Johnny's, but
yeah, they are. But I love them. They're so cute.
Probably like 90% of our seeds comes from Haas.
Yeah.
They're fantastic seeds. Germination rate is awesome.
The germination rate is awesome. These lime greens, these are lime greens from Haas, and then these ones are from Johnny's. They're like the, I need to look this one up.
I mean, I know all about flowers. I'm so surprised that I forgot the name of that one. I feel it's like forgetting the name of my child.
Oh my gosh, you're just so funny.
So this is the Benary Pinks,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Big old giant, these giant ones are gonna be Benaries.
Yeah, these are Benaries.
These are the wine zinnias. This, you guys, look at the variation, the different types of pollinators we got going in this garden. And our zinnias are very famous for attracting butterflies. And look at that. I mean, we knew it would happen, but it is so surprising to us the amount of life that these blooms bring to our farm. We have seen so many different types of beneficial insects. We have an app on my phone. We take pictures of them because we're like, ooh, what is that? It's a curcubit bee. Like, how come it's sleeping in my flower? Like, you know, this whole thing is a huge learning process. One thing we're working on is making sure that each one of our rows has the same family of plants in it, so that while we crop rotate, we can handle pests and weeds and whatever's missing in the soil that plant took out. We want to be able to make it systematic, and so having the whole row the same plant will make it really, really easy. If it's all planted at the same time, we could just mow it and we can broad fork it and all that stuff to get it ready for the next crop. And these are just things that we haven't had to think about in farming until we have to do it on a big scale. So if this is your backyard flower picking garden, probably doesn't matter as much. So this will be our next crop of sunflowers, and as you can see, it kind of terraces down because we've gotten better at succession planting every week. And so each one of these represents an amount of flowers that we'll pick for bouquets. And this way we can go this week, next week, next week, next week. And we planted some in this bare spot right here. The kids and I planted sunflower seeds to that little tool there, and these are going to be the plum pro cuts. So you guys, vegetables love flowers, right? So I convinced Rachel that we should do a whole row of zucchinis and spaghetti squash and veggies in here, because all the pollinators are going to be in here, and they can go from the veggies to the flowers, and pollination and fruiting is just going to skyrocket because of it. So we have this section is this could feed the world. This is a section of zucchinis, and they're starting to flower, and we saw a few. Well, see, that's an 8-ball zucchini. And this is all a variety. There's patty pans in here. There's some of those like eclipse squash. So we're gonna have tons of those. And then this section is where we trellised up our spaghetti squash. And Kate and I came out here yesterday, or Kate and I came out here a few days ago, and we trellis these all upright, and you can see they're just doing fantastic. So you can see, we say that this is poor soil, but I mean, these are obviously doing pretty darn good. So for some reason, not so good right here as they are there, but it looks really good. This will also be way too much spaghetti squash for one family. We thought it would be really cool to give some of our excess produce to our customers. So as we're dropping off flowers, giving them a spaghetti squash or some extra zucchini. I don't know if this is ever going to turn into like a market garden farm that does vegetables, but we really, really enjoy planting in the garden. So I don't know why it wouldn't. It's a possibility. Some of you guys might be asking what this is. This is our Bio 360. This is the biodegradable plastic mulch. It's made out of corn, so it will degrade in like 6 months, probably faster in the sun. So it's got a white side and a black side. We have the white side up. Oh. Speaking of beneficial insects, look at that. Look at that guy. It's Manny. What is the praying mantis name on Kung Fu Panda? Mantis?
Mantis.
Yeah, I don't think it's go put it on a plant there, dude. It likes you. You gotta. There we go. Maybe. Dude.
He does like you. He just doesn't want to leave you.
You got a buddy.
Oh dear. There you go.
There. Eat all the bad bugs. So the reason we like this is it's biodegradable, it's technically organic, and it saves us a ton of weeding. So starting there, those are the tomatillos. Here we got a bunch of zucchinis that are starting to blossom, and we're gonna have to trellis these too somehow.
So what a fire.
There are a lot of fire ants.
Mantis will eat 'em.
Mantis will eat the fire ants. And then it looks like we had some extra zucchinis, so not only will we have a lot of zucchinis, we'll have a ton of zucchinis. And we interplanted the okra with the zucchini plants. Actually, these are the roselles, huh?
Those are the roselles.
Okay, so...
The okra's at the end over here.
Okay, these are roselle hibiscus, so these might get really, really bushy. We gotta get that garlic spray out.
Yeah, actually. We need to get more of this.
And this is the okra down here. So I feel like I need to take up one of these rows for like some corn or something like that.
As long as it's not shading my flowers.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I'll take that. I'll take that in a row.
There you go.
So that, I know, we'll have to find a space to do pumpkins.
I know.
Maybe.
I just don't know where to put it. Oh, why don't we put it here? Look, we could come off this tree.
Oh my gosh, look at all that space. We could do pumpkins. Look at all the extra work
I'm taking
I
these.
have to do.
I'm taking this fencing. The kids and I can take this fencing down anyway. We have to take both fences down so that we can just come and go easily through here.
Mom.
What do you think?
I'm planning.
I'll leave it up to you guys. Should we turn this whole space into a pumpkin patch?
Yes. Hey. No, look at me. Look at me. Pumpkins.
Yeah.
We have to grow pumpkins. They're like the best, and they store forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I want to make a corn maze out of it.
Okay guys, so we're off to the east garden. Just let us know what you're planning this summer. What's growing really well right now for you? And what are some of those veggies that you're gonna surprise people at church with? Just with a big old box of extra zucchini. I know that's what it's gonna be for us. Gonna be honest with you guys, the other garden is thriving right now because it's like all growing. A lot of the stuff in this garden is either ready to harvest, and because it's ready to harvest, it's got a lot of weeds that are ready to harvest too, just because we've been putting a lot of effort into the other garden. So judge us if you want. No garden has no weeds. Is that the right terminology? I don't know a garden that doesn't exist that doesn't have weeds.
you're always going to be dealing with weeds and weed pressure. It's just how you deal with them. Honestly, we haven't dealt with weeds in here because we're like over there, and like we really need to just take a day and weed this down really good. But also like just management, like having a weeding Wednesday or something where we just come out for 10 minutes, weed, and then, you know, just be done with it. That helps stay on top of everything.
Weeding Wednesday sounds like a horrible day. But I mean, let's be real, okay? This is the realness of gardening, okay? We could take a picture just right here where it looks fantastic, but
this has
we won't.
always been a problem area though, right?
Yeah, we are really working on this area. There's so much weed pressure here. It's dumb. Okay, so moving on from that. Everybody has weeds. We just need to manage them better. Okay, so this is the potato bed, the roofed out potato bed, which as you can see is not really weed free, but it is more weed free than it would be otherwise. And so we've got to harvest some of these. We planted different potatoes that are ready in different stages, and so I think the ones over on that end are German butterballs, which take a little bit longer. We have Adirondack blues and the Viking potatoes that, as you can see, I already started harvesting those because I couldn't wait. So
they're really good.
Really easy to harvest, really delicious, and super satisfying. We probably should have grown twice as many potatoes, but this is part of the learning experience of like, how much are we actually going to use? Because, you know, you can grow a whole garden of tomatoes, but are you going to be able to use it? So
We'll be able to use it.
Potatoes is one of the staple crops that we eat a ton of. So okay, let's go. Where are we? So these beds are ready to flip. We've got calendula here that's kind of past its prime. Sweet peas. This is the old lady flowers.
My favorite.
It smells like,
I know, I've just kind of been
my grandma's bathroom to me. So
look how cute those seed pods are.
what is that?
This is the Ms. America. It's like that spicy lettuce leaf.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, I wanted to save seeds from it.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm waiting. I can almost get that out of there.
Nectarine trees are jamming. That's a plum, and that's a nectaplum over there in the corner, which
They look so good.
I'm really excited for those. It's got the crunch of a nectarine, but the flavor of a peach. It's just delicious.
Yeah, these just need, I don't know.
These beds also are done. We got a couple straw flowers in here that
Random.
are random, and some strawberries that Rachel tried to transplant in this bed.
I failed.
Yep. So
Bitterly.
we'll probably either cover crop these, or I don't know. We haven't decided that yet. We should decide that
We
soon.
should probably cover crop them because these beds kind of struggle.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Some of the beds are not doing as well as others. Very interesting, very interesting. Maybe we should do a soil test. But this is all brought in soil, so this is not something that, like, specifically we did wrong here.
Yeah, you got it.
So who knows? Who knows? This is our hardneck garlic from Haas. We do have to cut these scapes and use something with them. These kind of just seems like they popped up overnight.
I know.
If you didn't know garlic you can harvest twice, okay? All of this scape, it's the stalk, and this is the flower. This is the garlic flower right here. You can clip these off and use this in stir fries or pestos or whatever, and it has a garlic flavor. And then that makes sure the rest of the energy goes down to the bulb, so you get a bigger garlic. So these really are just ready to go, and I'll have to do something with those today.
Yeah, check out that other video you did.
Oh yeah, we did a garlic scape video long time ago. So these are other beds that are they're just struggling. We had lettuce in this one, and we had carrots in this one that did fantastic. So I wonder if just the moisture content there's water in there. I just don't know. this is a mystery to us that I don't know how we're gonna solve it.
Well, we can try like the duck fertilizer or something.
We need to bring in some voodoo, like garden teas or something like that. That's the plan. These trellises, by the way, is probably where a lot of those beans are gonna go. We got the scarlet runner, got the scarlet runner. We've got the scarlet, got the scarlet runner beans that we're gonna plant here, and so hopefully we'll have some nice trellises here. And got some volunteer beans. I don't think, did you plant those there?
I actually planted that one. It was
okay.
the purple one. I forget the name. The name fails me right now. The purple hoss one.
Oh, is it a
It's
bean
a
or a
trellis.
pea?
No, it's a bean.
Okay.
Peas don't do good right now.
Okay.
What's
Okay.
your favorite flower?
And this is where I'm gonna eat my words, because y'all know I hate lisianthus, and I'll tell you why I hate them before I show you how fantastic they are. They take up the beds for like 6 months. We've had these in the beds for so long, and we've had to protect them for so long from our dog, from bugs. We had to make sure they didn't dry out. And so I really thought like these were the dumbest flowers on the planet, but they are beautiful, and Rachel always reminds me they last for 2 weeks in a vase, and they're fantastic. The other name for them is the summer rose, and this is why, because they're fantastically beautiful. Oh, just look at it. Is a beautiful flower. And so we have all these beautiful flowers that we can cut and put in vases. And Rachel laughs at me every time because she knows why I hate them.
I mean, we totally were struggling like in the winter time because we planted them. When did we plant them? December?
Yeah.
We planted them in December.
Yeah.
And so we're dealing with like all the cutworm, right? All the worms and all the things, and coming in when it's frost, and you know, covering them up, uncovering them, like covering them up, uncovering them. So it was challenging, you know. And then all of a sudden, like when the heat heats up and they're just like, I'm happy. It's like, oh, is that worth it? It was worth it for me.
So really the thing is like a sunflower almost takes no effort. You plant it and it grows. And these took a whole lot of thought and effort and anxiety and stress. They absorbed all that, you know, because we bought flats of these, hundreds of these,
About like 200
not really knowing how well they were going to do. So now that we have like a testimony that they work and they're beautiful, then of course these are going to be
Okay, would you grow them?
Here.
Are they going to be a staple? Are you going to grow them again?
Yeah, so the thing we need to do is take a whole row in the other gardens instead of like these small rows here, and this definitely is going to work into our rotation. So to Rachel's chagrin.
It's okay, I've got good ideas.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 of these little beds that are dedicated to just this one flower. So that's the problem. That's the problem. That's a beautiful problem. The other thing is they sell incredibly well at market if you have the market for them. And so a warning to anybody watching this thinking about starting a flower farm.
Oh my gosh.
Is just because it does well in Washington or Vermont or Tennessee does not mean it's going to do well where you are. And so, you know, try not to get too enamored with the beautiful things other people are growing. Make sure it's right for your area. That's all I can say.
If you're thinking about flower farming, like, find your market first. Like, find people who are actually going to buy your flowers instead of just having nothing to sell. That is like my number one thing to advise people. You know, you want to be able to sell these instead of them sitting in your beds doing nothing. So if you don't have a market, you're not going to sell anything, and then it's a waste. So you just voice of caution.
I want to show you my pride and joy in our garden, and it's our peppers, which I interplanted with flowers. So like win-win. I'm happy, Rachel's happy. So I interplanted our peppers with, they're called Nocento marigolds, and so they're not supposed to have like that aggressive scent that marigolds have, so you could use them in bouquets. So, and marigolds are beneficial flowers. They bring in beneficial insects, and peppers are jamming. I think, if I remember right, these are like the eating peppers, the sweet peppers.
The little ones?
Yeah, the little mini ones, the snack peppers from Haas Tools. And then all of those ones are jalapenos and poblanos. Let me tell you about topping your peppers. I was so scared. So in the beginning, when you have a pepper plant, when it's small, if you nip the tip, then they grow bushier and stronger with more foliage. Otherwise, they'll grow super straight. Once those peppers start, then it's just gonna sag over and be on the ground. When I cut them, they looked like they were gonna die. Like, I was really afraid that I made the wrong choice. But now I know for sure that topping your peppers is the best thing you can do for them. Like, just look how like sturdy these are. They're, you know, that's gonna hold tons of peppers. We'll probably trellis these. I should trellis them, but they're so sturdy. And here, oh, there's a little pepper right there. I hope you can see that. There it is. So these are starting to make us peppers, and it's gonna be delicious. And these ones also just like very, very sturdy. We'll be able to hold a lot more peppers on those because of topping them. So it's one of those things that you feel is like super backwards, but is absolutely important to the health of your plant. This is going to be the longest video on the planet, but I hope you guys are enjoying this. We really love our garden, and this is hard work. We're taking charge of our food system, right? We're taking charge of our economy because the rest of the world is just out of whack. The many things that we're doing here on the farm is how we gain a little bit more control in this crazy, crazy world. So real quick, I'm going to show you the rest of the flowers, and I want to end with the hossinator tomato plants, which is my second pride and joy in this garden. Fun fact, I'm not a big fan of tomatoes, but I do love a good BLT and salsa. And I've gotten better as I've gotten older, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll actually eat diced up tomato. I grew up in a family who sliced tomatoes and salted them and ate them like cucumbers, which I never got on board. That's gonna take a little bit more growing up for me to be okay with that. So
You do really good though.
I'll show you the hossinator tomatoes. They're really, really good. They're thriving, and we'll have a ton of tomatoes. Hopefully in a week or two, we'll be able to start harvesting them. But we're getting some gigantic tomatoes. Gigantic.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so more sunflowers that we planted here. We're gonna have to get rid of these beds pretty soon. This whole garden is gonna need a big overhaul.
Yeah, we need to flip.
Variety of flowers here. Variety of flowers here. Those are celosias. I love celosias. Those are one of my favorite flowers. Really quick, Rachel, what are these flowers?
Snapdragon.
Snaps. Okay, good.
Those are
We
snapdragon.
do have more snaps.
We have Chinese forget-me-nots in the back, but the hossinator is the
So every day I'm home, I come and check on the tomatoes, which is just Like, I don't know how many people grow vegetables that they don't like, but I've really been serious about these tomatoes. These are Belarusas right here. These are all Belarusa tomatoes, which are a Hass tomato that it's more of like a paste tomato, I think. They're doing great. But these hossinator tomatoes, just take a look at how they're getting so big, and these plants are so healthy, not really able to identify any kind of pest pressure. Just look at this beast right there. Yeah. It's the newest cross that Hass is offering. It's like SB25 something. But it's like got the best disease resistant package of like any tomato. And to be honest, we have not done anything but trellis these, and we've trellised them poorly. Like, listen, hey, a little bit's better than none. But I mean, actually they're doing great. Like I could have been way more diligent with these, and I don't know if they would even be doing better. Like, they're just like crazy. Yeah, they're just, I mean, they're crazy vibrant, and we're getting just so many fruits. Yeah, see this one.
Are these guys flopping out?
Yeah, this one's a floppy one. So we'll have to like come back and just like rein that in.
Rein it in.
Because we don't want like slugs eating the tomatoes. I want those tomatoes. So you can see, like, I'll walk through here. There's like nothing eating these. There's no blights.
No, there's like a little bit of aphids right there, but I mean, little aphid down there.
Where?
Right there.
Let's see. Oh, no, that's aphids.
So that's not horrible. I mean, we have ladybugs too, taking care of that.
Yeah, we have got ladybugs all over the place. And the proof is in the pudding. We'll see what these taste like. I can't imagine they're gonna taste bad. The tomato sandwich is the right test for that. We're baking a BLT, and we'll keep you updated. Hass has a challenge going with these tomatoes, I think till August, that if you grow the heaviest hossinator tomato, you get like a gift card. I don't think I'm gonna win that prize, but the prize is for me to be able to can these later and have them all year long. So we're lucky here in Northern California. We're able to have tomatoes probably all year long. This is a determinate type, so it will die off and we'll have to do another round of these. But, you know, not a ton of benefits to living in California, but the growing environment is great. Not to get political, but they're talking about water restrictions right now. And it's so dumb. We sent millions of gallons of our water down to Southern California, but they're putting restrictions on us. So that's as political as we get with that. There's nothing we can do about it, because every time I vote, it probably doesn't count. But we have a well and we have a pond. So if we've got to pull buckets of water from the pond, then hey, there's duck poop in there, and it'll be fertilizer. And okay guys, if you made it to the end of our video, you win a special prize. Our love. Make sure you comment below, made it to the end.
Hallelujah!
Oh gosh.
High fives to you!
We're sorry. We're not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. There's a ton to go over on the farm, and we feel like a lot of our last videos are not in depth enough. So lots of questions about like, how's this doing? How's that doing? And we try to keep you as much up to date as we can. We are so busy, but this is kind of where our heart lies. We really love sharing what we're doing with people. We love educating you guys Not that we know everything, but we like to share with you the things that we're learning as we're going along. And by the time we've been farmers for 30 years, we will know everything. And
then we'll die.
Yeah. And then thank you guys so much for being part of our journey here on our flower farm, ranch, garden, homestead. It's a little bit of everything. But we love you guys being here. We love your kind comments and we love your support. So thank you so much. Smash that like, subscribe, share this video, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Turkey, give me a turkey.
Oh my gosh.
Turkey,
This
give
is
me a
the
turkey.
funniest thing ever.
We'll end with that.